Hello, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I read in September and October. I know it has been a while. I have been working on a top secret project. Back to what we're here for, all of the fantastic reads. I read a little fiction and a little nonfiction, so let's just get right into it. First up, I read Immaculate Conception by Ling Ling Huang. It's more like a dark literary novel. I think under 300 pages. I really enjoyed this one. It's kind of like a critique, I guess, on the art world. It talks a lot about the art world. The main character goes to art school, and it's kind of like our world, but a little futuristic. Really enjoyed this. I'm not sure, there were parts I didn't really think were necessary, or like didn't think really added to the novel, or could have done without. Like there was a lot of like religious aspects that were explored through art and through the main characters' like art projects, and there was some stuff with the Pope that just got like really weird. But the whole book was kind of weird, and I think that was supposed to be kind of the point. So I think I might have given this 4 stars. Just like the prose was really excellent, and great story between the two main characters. Like it's a friendship between two girls, and I really enjoyed their story. Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood. This was a shorter one, a novella. I listened to this on audiobook. I found I really enjoy listening to The Sun is Setting, so it's slowly getting more and more into my eyes. But I found I really enjoy listening to rom-coms on audiobook rather than reading them for some reason. I don't know, probably because they're a lot of dialogue and they're just really entertaining for like long walks. But this one, the two main characters go to a work retreat, but they're from rival companies. They're both in game design, and they end up getting stuck at this retreat in a snowstorm. So close proximity trope, forced proximity trope. This one was super cute and really enjoyed it. Really loved like the wintry vibes in it, and I love anything like tomorrow, anything with the like video game sort of themes around it. So this one was a lot of fun. The Listeners by Maggie Stiefvater. This one was quite enjoyable as well. Historical fiction. It's about a hotel run by June. It's post Pearl Harbor, so they have to take in a bunch of these diplomats. So there's this constant sort of tension. The parts I thought were interesting were less about like the war and the historical stuff, and more about like the hotel itself and like the everyday tasks and like how June ran it, and her story about how she became the manager of the hotel. She also has, this is a big bonus, she has 3, my candle is going crazy. I don't know like what makes the candles flame, like go super high, but this one is going nuts. June has 3 dachshunds that just follow her around everywhere, and they're so cute. Like the depiction of them in the book is so cute. Love that. There's also like a mysterious undercurrent to the novel. So there's sort of like this magical water that takes place in West Virginia, and it's very much giving West Virginia and like the Appalachia, and like all of the myths and legends surrounding that area. I do recommend this if you like a very detailed historical read with an inspiring female protagonist, with a lot of depth. So that's what I always love about Maggie Stiefvater, is her characters, I think, have a lot of depth, and I love them. Dallaget Dream Department Store by Mia Lee. This book is all about dreams, and it's probably one of the most whimsical books I have read to date. Basically, it's about a world apart from our world, where dreams are created by dream makers, and then sold in stores and bought by people from our world who, like, while they're shopping, this is probably a poor explanation, but while they're shopping, they're actually like asleep. So when you go to sleep, you go to the dream department store and like select your dreams. And it's just really interesting, the different themes that are explored, but it, like, very light and cozy way. Highly recommend if you just need like a quick little palette cleanser, something cute and cozy. And then I read, actually I have this one right here, Save the Cat Writes a Novel. This is a nonfiction, obviously, and it is about the 15 beats that are in every story and how to go from beat to beat and pretty much outline your novel. There are plotters and pantsers, and I am more of a pantser, so I was just seeing like what it would be like to follow a plot, I guess. Maybe a little too structured for me, but I did find this helpful just as far as like all of the information, and I like how she used different like real books to show examples of the 15 beats. I thought that part was really interesting. Next up we have The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. This is a magical rom-com centered around the main character Vivian, who is a witch, and she accidentally, when she's younger, she accidentally places a curse on a lover who kind of spurned her. And so this is going to be a second chance romance, because we pick up about 9 years later when he ends up coming to town. His name is Reese. He's from Scotland, which is a plus because I also listened to this on audiobook, and you get like the Scottish accents, which was a lot of fun. Absolutely love the cute Halloween spooky town. Like the whole town is like centered around like Halloween, and it's giving very much what's the popular, like the Salem. So there's a shop her aunt owns where she works, and it's just a fun, light, actually no, she's a professor who teaches regular history at the college, the local college. Even though there's like a magical section of the school, she chooses, even, and she's a witch, she chooses to teach like regular history to like regular students. And she kind of, in the book, she learns how to embrace her magical side while also, of course, falling in love. It kind of like reminded me if Stars Hollow would be like more of a spicy, grown-up rom-com. That makes sense. So love that one. And then I followed that with the second one, The Kiss Curse, also by Erin Sterling. This follows Vivian's cousin Gwyn and the brother of Reese, so we're keeping it all in the family. And he comes into town to set up a rival magical shop because Vivian, or Gwyn, in the second book, does actually work in the magical shop. She ends up falling, of course, for the brother of Reese. Actually, what is his name? Like, their last name is Penhallow. His name is something funky, I can't remember. So it's kind of like a rivals to lovers sort of romance. And then there's one more in that series, but I think I needed to take a little break, and I'll probably pick it up in December again because I think it's more like winter vibes. I had all of these books. If you watched my last video, I had all of these books planned to read or to choose from. I read very few of them, and that is because someone happened, and that someone is none other than Sally Rooney. Yes, I'm very late to the party. I finally picked up one of hers, and then it just went Rooney from there. So Conversation with Friends by Sally Rooney was the first one that I read. I might say that it was my favorite of the three that I read. Maybe. It's really hard to choose. So this is sort of like, I'd almost consider it light academia, like very light academia, because the main character is in college at the time. It's more about like conversations with friends. It's about like relationships, and I can't even tell you what it's about. It's one of the most amazing literary novels I've ever read. Obviously, since I continued to read her stuff right after that, and I can't get enough of her now. So she kind of just questions her own identity and what it means to love and to be in love, and really nothing happens. One of her books I read reviews on, and someone gave it like a 2-star review and said that there's more plot on the back of a shampoo bottle. That's the whole point. So I would have that would have given me 5-star review. The whole point is how she explores the characters and the relationships, not the plot. I gave all of her books 5 stars so far. Really, really love them. And then, so after that, I read Beautiful World, Where Are You? Maybe this one is my favorite. maybe I take back what I said. Maybe this one is my favorite. This one is about a novelist, so we're jumping to a little bit older. She escapes from the city to a quiet country life, and only to meet a man who is very opposite from her in both like personality and class. This one discusses class a lot. All of Rooney's novels do, but this one discusses class, and then it did her relationship with this man, and like her her time alone. Like her time alone leads her to question, like these characters are always like questioning everything about their lives, and I love just being inside of their heads. Just like she just questions throughout the whole book like what she's doing with her life, and again, like not much of anything really happens, but like the relationships definitely do like change and grow within the novel, which I think is like the whole point of her writing. Next up, I read probably I think the most popular and the one that I used to hear about and still hear about quite often, and that is Normal People. This one follows a boy and a girl from high school into adulthood. They navigate like a weird sort of like very strained kind of friendship that leads into more than a friendship, to a relationship, like off and on. And this one talks, I think, the most about class and disparity and privilege and the privilege of education. I really enjoyed in this one how the character of Marianne was explored. I did like the character of Colin. Like, I don't have anything like really negative, but I definitely, in the last one, Beautiful World, Where Are You? I enjoyed Felix's character more. This one, Colin, not like my favorite. I think he could have been explored more, if anything. But what do I know? I know nothing. Loved Marianne's character, and though after I'm like discussing all these, I think I can definitely say that Beautiful World, Where Are You? Has been my favorite so far. I do plan on reading Intermezzo. I have it on hold at the library, so it should be coming up soon. Next up, I read The Bewitching. This book, Sylvia Moreno Garcia, this book put me into a reading slump, unfortunately. I'm not saying don't try it, but this one was not for me at all. I DNF'd it, did not finish it, and it put me into a pretty big reading slump. Yeah, because I really wanted to get through this one. There were like parts of it, because there's like 3 different timelines. There were parts of it I enjoyed, but it was not for me. It goes like back and forth between, I don't know, like I don't even remember, like the 18th century before, I think before that, to modern day, to a girl who's in college writing her thesis. And I thought like the thesis part, like the modern day part, was pretty interesting, but it just felt very dry. Like very dry writing, like the writing was not for me. That was unfortunate. Then we have Dracula by Bram Stoker. This one I wanted to read before I went to the ballet, and I succeeded. I finished it, I think the day of the ballet, actually like 20 minutes before we left for the ballet. I finished this one because it is very dense and very difficult, and especially to me the middle part felt like the most difficult part. It was just like a lot of, if you've read it before, you know, like a lot of back and forth, a lot of letters written between like the team and the people who are trying to find the Count. But the part that I enjoyed the most, I think, was the beginning, when Jonathan first met the Count, and like first like his journey to the castle or the estate, and just like discovering who the Count Dracula really was. And this book just really helped me, because I'm a huge fan of Vampire Diaries. It really helped me understand a lot of the legends and the myths surrounding vampires, and there's a lot of like correlations I could see that has been taken out from like this very old book into modern day depictions of vampires. Very cool to read, and I'm definitely losing the sunlight. Then we have Full Shift. The Bewitching was the first thing I think I read in October, so like I said, that put me in a pretty big reading slump, and I didn't read a whole lot. But I did read Full Shift by Jennifer Dugan and Kit Sutton. This is a YA graphic novel, and this got me out of my reading slump. Very, very fun. I wasn't expecting to like this as much as I did. I just kind of picked it up because I really liked the illustrations, and It is about a girl who has trouble fully shifting into her werewolf identity, and then something like sort of mysterious happens and she has to solve it along with her friend, and it causes her to, of course, by the end fully accept her identity and live happily ever after, I guess. But this was really adventurous and just like a really fun time. The writing was good and the illustrations were amazing. This one I just kind of listened to all month long on audiobook. This is How You Heal by Brianna Wiest. I really loved her book. I think it's 101 Essays That'll Change the Way You Think. And I just kind of, I'll like put that one on when I go on walks, like just whenever I need like a little pick me up. And This Is How You Heal really attacks the idea of healing after or during or because of relationships. So if you are in any sort of a rut because of relationships or how things ended with someone, or you feel stuck in really any area of your life, but mostly relationships, when you're ready, This Is How You Heal is extremely good. Some of the stuff she says in like this one and her other one is a little repetitive and very obvious, but it's like things, it's like tough love, like things that you need to hear, but like no one's gonna tell you unless they're like your best friend or something, or your sister. And that's what it feels like, is like your friend who gives you, or your sister who gives you tough love, is just like telling you these things that you know are true, but you don't want to quite admit it. So this one is another great one to listen to like while you're walking or just doing like tasks around the house or something. And then we have another nonfiction on writing by Stephen King. I actually tried reading this one, I don't remember exactly when, but several years ago, and did not like it and was really turned off by it. And I guess it's just like very much proof of like how, I don't know, like your brain and mindset evolves, because this is exactly what I needed to hear. He talks about the process of writing, his personal journey becoming an author, and how to grow as a writer. But what I love about this book and his writing is he's like, and what I didn't love before, but I'm loving now, he's very blunt and very honest and very straightforward, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. And sometimes that's exactly, I think, what you need to hear, what I need to hear. When it comes to something that I'm learning takes a lot of discipline, which is writing, and not always like motivation and like whimsical feelings. It's work. And Stephen King talks about like everything under the sun when it comes to writing, like literally everything: style, process, and structure, and stories, and how stories are told. And I honestly enjoyed this one, even though like it's part memoir, a lot more than this one. That is it for September and October. Thanks for joining me. I will catch you in the next video. I'm going to be doing a book haul. Yay! And also I want to give a big shout out to my nephew Chase. He watches my videos and I was so happy to hear that. Chase, you are such a good reader, and one of my favorite memories with you is reading the Cul-de-Sac Kids. One of my favorite series by far. So, and a late happy birthday, because he just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Chase, and I will see you all in the next video.